Yeah, 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 yeah. Mystic Matt turning fives to stacks. Hurricane bets rolling like tracks. Doubters gonna hate, but the cheddar's fat. UFC nights turning pennies to racks. Spread too wide, Vegas holding the breath. Props and parlays betting like nothing left. Pull the underdog moves like a chess grandmaster. Break the bank, they'll respect you faster. Cheddar change, mystic rearrange. Dollar bills from change, bets ain't strange. Critics might scoff, they don't know the range. Mystic Matt cashing in, pocket feels strange. $5, $10, pocket rocket. Fight night knowledge, stacking thicket. Vegas odds shaking, they can pick it. Mystic Matt, every win a ticket. Cash coming in, steady river flow. Count it out, often doubters laying low. Parlay stacked, high pro, gamble show. Mystic's foresight, bets overflow. Cheddar change, mystic rearrange. Dollar bills from change, bets ain't strange. Critics might scoff, they don't know the range. Mystic Matt cashing in, pocket feels strange.
And what's going on, everyone? Happy Friday, and welcome to a very early show of Change to Cheddar here on the Golden Octagon. I usually do this 10 p.m. East Coast time, but if I did that, then that would only give you guys about 4 or 5 hours to get in your bets before these fights are actually taking place. So with that being said, I'm here early. As soon as I got off work, I came here, did my fight research, and now I'm here live giving you my picks and predictions. If you don't know how this show goes, we're going to go through every single one of the weigh-in. We usually do the weigh-in photos on the show, but I couldn't find the video, the photos, nowhere today. So we just have the face-off. So we're going to go through the face-offs. I'm going to give you my picks and predictions on every single one of these fights, whether I'm going to be betting them or not, and whether I say I'm not going to be betting them. At some point, I'm sure I do have a bet on him, just a few dollars here and there. But with that being said, my picks and predictions for every single one of the bets, one of the fights on the card, and then at the end of the show, I've got some parlays to share with you guys. I have a bunch of $5 parlays, so hoping that we can hit a big one this weekend. But if I'm going to be honest, my confidence isn't too high because this is a lot of low-level new UFC fighters, and they're not going to be fighting anyone really UFC level competition, nor have we seen them fight anyone UFC level competition. So kind of a sketchy one this weekend. And once again, it takes place, fights start at 3 a.m. East Coast time for the prelims, and the main card takes place at 6 a.m. So not sure which half I'm going to be watching, but probably not going to be watching the whole card. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the show. So first fight of the night is going to be Mahashate taking on Nicholas Mota. The over-under on this one is set at 1.5. Over 1.5 minus 160. The under 1.5 is plus 124. Mahashate minus 198. Your favorite. Nicholas Mota is plus 164. Your underdog. And I picked Mahashate earlier in the week, and after seeing the face-off, I just feel really good about it. I did see some photos of Nicholas Mota, though. He is looking good. He is rather jacked. Kind of looks like a 155-pound Paulo Costa, if you will. So we know he has power, and he has knocked a lot of people unconscious in the first round multiple times before. So with that being said, I do think the size advantage and the recent, not the recent, the past fights of Mahashate has fought basically someone just like Nicholas Mota in Steve Garcia and just the way he fights. So I think this fight could go something like that, but Mahashate hasn't really been going into the fire as much recently since he's been knocked out. So I do think Mahashate just does enough, pretty much stays safe all 3 rounds. And we get a Mahashate via decision. Could Mahashate knock him out? If he does, I think it's a little bit later in the fight, but that's just my read. Could I be wrong? 100%. So my official pick for this fight is going to be Mahashate to win this fight via decision. Let's move on to the next one, where we have Zhao Long taking on Quang Lee. So Zhao Long is or what am I doing? Over under on this one is set at 2.5. Over 2.5 minus 238. Under 2.5 plus 180. Zhao Long is currently minus 155, your favorite. Quang Lee is plus 130, your underdog. Personally, not really too much to be said here as far as like what can you really tell about each fighter. I don't know. Both fighters have fought technically in the UFC one time now. Quang Lee did fight a better fighter in Chris Gutierrez, as where Zhao Long did fight someone that was from the road to UFC. So don't really feel great about it. I think it's a pretty even fight. So when it's a pretty even fight, I'm going to go with the dog. So give me Quang Lee. My bet on this card, though, would be, my bet on this fight, though, would be the fight to go over 2.5 rounds. I don't mind that. I don't really think either one of these guys finished the other one. And I didn't tell you guys my bet on the Mahashate versus Nick Moda. My bet for the my bet for that fight is Mahashate to Mahashate money line, but my pick for the fight is Mahashate to win via decision. But Mahashate money line should be just fine. Bet for this fight, Zhao Long versus Quang Lee, is the fight to go over 2.5 rounds. Pick for the fight is going to be Quang Lee via decision. Moving on, we do have Loner Kavanaugh taking on Jose Ochoa. Yeah, fun fight here. Loner Kavanaugh minus 380, your favorite. Jose Ochoa plus 300, the dog. Over under on this one is set at 2.5. Over 2.5 minus 125. Under 2.5 minus 105. And I get it because Loner Kavanaugh carries his power late, has a lot of later finishes. The dude's a little bit bigger than he is, though, but something tells me about the way he's holding his hands that he's not the best fighter in the world. I don't know why. It just looks weird. Do I know a lot about him? No, but probably pretty tough, and round one will be tough either way. So if this fight ends, I suspect it'll be Loner Kavanaugh round 2, round 3 knockout. But with these gloves, we are going back to the new old gloves, whichever way you want to say it, the new gloves. We don't know if we're really going to be getting this many knockouts, but I'm going to say that this fight does end in a knockout. Give me Loner Kavanaugh to win via 3rd round knockout, and that's my pick. My bet for this fight is going to be over 1.5. If you have that option on DraftKings, you can use the alternate lines. But if not, you can do the fight to start round 3, and I think that's a solid one as well. Sorry, you guys. I didn't even see your guys' comments in here. We got Daniel Aker in here with the LFG. Shout out Daniel for stopping by here. And we got Antoine. Hey, caught it just before I sparked the blunt before my pre-work nap. Appreciate you stopping by tonight, Antoine. I hope you enjoy your nap, my guy. So we'll move on to the next fight, where we have a mouthful here. It is Nam Jargal Tumindumbarel taking on Carlos Hernandez. Glad I got that one out, and hopefully I don't have to say that name too many times. But odds for this fight are Tumindumbarel is plus 142, the underdog. Carlos Hernandez minus 170, the favorite. The over-under on this one is set at 2.5. Over 2.5 minus 180. The under 2.5 is plus 140. And I agree with the odds. Tumindumbarel just fights like a maniac, just comes out and swings recklessly. And I think if you do that against Carlos Hernandez, he trains with a good enough gym up at Valley Flow Striking, Bilal Muhammad trains with the champ, if you will. I think they're going to have a solid game plan to just, throw a few strikes and duck under and get this kid down and hold him there. So with that being said, I think Tumindumbarel is live in the first round and a couple minutes. But outside of that, I think Carlos Hernandez is just pretty much going to take him down and control him every other moment of the fight. So, truly, I don't think you should probably have a bet on this fight, but my pick for this fight is going to be Carlos Hernandez to win via decision. If you needed to, I don't mind the fight to start round 3, the over 2.5, or Carlos Hernandez 3 or decision. You sure you're not going to set alarm for 3 a.m.? I'm not. If I'm up at 3 a.m., it's just because I'm up still. So I'll watch the first ones, but that means I'm not going to be watching any part of the rest of the card. I might catch the first few. But moving on, we do have Xiao Kan Feng taking on Shi Ming. Yeah, fun fight here, fun fight, and the size difference here is absolutely nuts. Xiao Kan Feng is much taller, much longer, and truly, I think she is the much better fighter out of the two here. Shi Ming, the doctor, if you will. Yeah, she just goes for takedowns, and I guess she's an okay fighter, but I just don't think she's going to be able to get this big girl down, even if she gets close. I think Xiao Kan Feng just going to be able to stay at distance pretty much all 3 rounds, picking and poking at Shi Ming. So, yeah, give me Xiao Kan Feng to win this fight, 3 or decision. Should have told you guys the odds. The over under on this one is set at 2.5. Over 2.5 minus 500. And the under 2.5 plus 340. Shi Ming or Ming Shi is plus 330, the underdog, and Xiao Kan Feng is minus 425, the favorite. Yeah, so pick for this Xiao Kan Feng decision. Bet for this Xiao Kan Feng 3 or decision. Yeah, moving on to the next one. We do have Kiru Sahota taking on Dong Hun Choi. So, yeah, fun fight, I guess. We'll find out. Kiru Sahota is going to be the taller, longer fighter here, the much bigger guy, and I do think that's going to play into factor here. I don't really. Okay, so the odds, they've been kind of flipping back and forth a few times this week. So Kiru Sahota is now the favorite, minus 120, as Dong Hun Choi is plus 100, the dog. Over under on this one is set at 2.5. Over 2.5 minus 250. Under 2.5 is plus 190. Yeah, this one I kind of see it going like the last one, like that tall girl just staying at range, picking and poking all 3 rounds. That's pretty much how this one's going to go, or at least this is how I see it going. So give me Kiru Sahota to win this fight via decision. Bet for this fight will be Sahota 3 or decision for me. I don't hate the over 2.5 rounds, or if you just want to bet, just Sahota decision, because I don't know if he finishes this kid. Gosh, you're about to finish this paper, take a nap, enjoy the fights, brother. I appreciate it, Antoine. Whenever you get a chance to watch these fights, I hope you enjoy them as well. So moving on to the next one, we have this is a cool name. We have Bear Gang Gillespie taking on Su Young Yu. Over under on this one is set at 2.5. Over 2.5 minus 220. Under 2.5 is plus 170. Bear Gang Gillespie is plus 145, your underdog, while Su Young Yu is minus 175, your favorite. And I like the dog here, the taller man, if you will, the man from China, and they are going to be fighting in Macau. So Su Young Yu is the Korean fighter, so I'm hoping that the Chinese crowd can get behind their fighter, the bigger guy. But I think both of these fighters truly are pretty well-rounded everywhere, while Su Young Yu is really trying to get most of his fights to the ground to implement his jiu-jitsu. Bear Gang here is pretty well-rounded overall, has lots of knockout finishes and submissions as finishes as well. So yeah, I guess I have to go with the fighter that I just think is more well-rounded everywhere, which is the bigger guy as well, going to be the hometown guy, if you will, from China. Give me Bear Gang Gillespie to win this fight via decision. But am I confident on it? not really. My bet for this fight is going to be it to go over 2.5 rounds. I think that's a solid one. So we'll move on to the next one where we've got Zhang Mingyang taking on Ozzy Diaz. And yeah, this is one where I think UFC stats got something mixed up because Ozzy Diaz said he was about 2-3 inches taller earlier in the week, and they look like they're about the same size. And that's okay with me because I was on Zhang Mingyang to win by first round knockout earlier in the week, and that's pretty much the way I'm still going. Both of these dudes have never won a fight out of the first round, and I don't see much changing here. So Zhang Mingyang minus 345, your favorite, as Ozzy Diaz plus 270, your underdog. Over under on this one is set at 1.5, over 1.5 plus 175, under 1.5 is minus 230. Yeah, as I said, Zhang Mingyang, first round knockout for me. And then if you're just not confident on which fighter is going to win, as I said, both fighters have never won that has won outside of the first round. So if you just want to take that under 1.5, I think you'll be all right there. These are some two big guys. So under 1.5 for me, but Zhang, I'm sorry, under 1.5 is the bet for me, but pick for me Zhang round 1 knockout. We've got Eric saying, Xiaonan by finish money glitch. I don't know. Tabitha Ricci is tough. It took Manon Fear a while to get her out of there. Moving on to the next one, we've got Vulcan, No Time Uzdemir, taking on the Black Jag, Carlos Ulberg. This one's one for me. I don't want to overthink it too much. I'm just going to leave it like that, and we will start like this. Over under on this one is set at 1.5, over 1.5, minus 210, under 1.5, plus 160. Vulcan Uzdemir, plus 200, the underdog. Carlos Ulberg, the favorite, at minus 245. I know Carlos Ulberg wins this fight. I just have a hard time knowing how, because that's going to depend on how Vulcan Uzdemir fights. Is he going to rush in and get clipped? If so, then I believe he could get knocked out early. But if we see the Vulcan that just don't really want to get knocked out, then I can see Carlos Ulberg, running around the outside of the cage, picking and poking all 3 rounds. It has an easy unanimous decision. So with that being said, my bet for this fight is Carlos Ulberg money line. My pick for this fight is going to be Carlos Ulberg to win this fight via decision, because I think Vulcan Uzdemir is going to be too worried about getting knocked out to run in and actually have a fight with Carlos Ulberg. So moving on to the next one, we have Kong Wang, the Joker, taking on Gabby Fernandez. Over under on this one is set at 2.5, over 2.5, minus 210, under 2.5 is plus 160. Kong Wang minus 950, your favorite, and Gabby Fernandez is plus 625, your dog. Man, I'm glad I saw this face off, because Kong Wang has a pretty massive size advantage over Gabby Fernandez, but Gabby Fernandez is tough. So I don't really think Kong Wang gets the knockout here. Could she? Of course. She's an excellent striker with power that you don't see in the women's division. But at the same time, she knocked out Victoria Leonardo. You can't really look at it too much. Gabby Fernandez is way tougher than that. And I expect Kong Wang to win. But being 950, of course she's going to win. I'm going to go me not having a bet on this fight that I feel confident in, but my pick for this fight is going to be Kong Wang to win this fight via decision. I don't know how she wins, but I know Kong Wang probably wins this fight. Moving on to the next one, we've got Song Kanan taking on Muslim Salikov. Over under on this one is set at 2.5, over 2.5, minus 166, under 2.5 is plus 130. So Song Kanan plus 160, the underdog. Muslim Salikov minus 192, the favorite. And I was on Muslim Salikov earlier in the week, and I guess after seeing the face-offs now, it's just like, oh man, Song Kanan's got a really decent size advantage over Muslim Salikov. This should be a fun fight. Muslim Salikov likes to throw, spinning shit that's at least entertaining, but Song Kanan's probably got the power advantage here. The only issue is he really doesn't throw. He's not too active. But if one of them lands, or if they both land at the same time, I think Song Kanon's going to land harder. Um, Tough fight to call here, if I'm going to be honest. A few things that I don't mind that if you bet this fight would be if the fight started round 3, the over 2.5, or if it went the distance. My bet for this fight is going to be the fight to start round 3, or if you have DraftKings, I don't mind the over 1.5 rounds. I think that's probably the safest thing. But I'm not going to pick flip. D Rose is on Song Kanon. I'm going to stay with my pick. Let's go Muslim, the king of Kung Fu, to win this fight via decision. Now, could I look like an idiot on this one? Yeah, because I think Song Kanon truly has a chance this weekend as a dog. Moving on to the co-main event, we've got Baby Shark Tabitha Ricci taking on Yan 9 Xiaonan. Over under on this one is set at 2.5. Over 2.5 minus 425. Under 2.5 is plus 300. So this one going over. Yan Xiaonan minus 175, the favorite. Tabitha Ricci plus 145, the dog. And truly, you guys, I thought Yan Xiaonan was going to have a bigger size advantage over Tabitha Ricci because Tabitha Ricci is truly tiny. Like, she is so little. Like, for sure, the smallest girl. Like, I don't know if there's anyone smaller than her. So I expected her to be a little bit bigger. And I just can't ever forget the way Carlos Esparza just treated Yan Xiaonan, just put her on her back, and just Yan Xiaonan just didn't know what to do at all. And she's a little bit older now. I don't know if she's going to be making those improvements. And if you ask me, when it comes to just athleticism, I believe Tabitha Ricci is able to just get in on Yan Xiaonan's hips and pick her up and take her down. D Rose is on Yan Xiaonan. I could see it. You know, she is the better striker of the two, and she's shown to have power. I don't know if she's able to knock out Tabitha Ricci, though, because, you know, Tabitha's tough, and I believe she's on a mission here to get to that title. So tough fight to call, but if you must bet this fight, I don't mind the over 2.5, but you know, minus 425, good luck. Don't mind it going the distance, but you know, good luck. I think the value is on Tabitha Ricci. Yeah, Tabitha Ricci 3 or decision is my pick. Tabitha Ricci decision is my pick, but I don't think I'm going to be betting this fight just to stay safe, I guess. Tabitha Ricci for me. All right, main event time. We have Deuce Together, Davidson Figueiredo taking on No Mercy, Piotr Yan. Over under on this one is set at 4.5 rounds. Over 4.5 rounds is minus 188. Under 4.5 is plus 145. Piotr Yan's the favorite at minus 340, and Deuce Together, Davidson Figueiredo, is the dog at plus 270. And once again, I thought Davidson was going to be a little bit smaller than Piotr Yan here, but they do size up rather well. I know Piotr Yan's, you know, by no means a big guy for 135. He's usually one of the smaller guys on 135, but Figgy fighting at 125, he's just really looked small against every guy that he's fought to this point. But he actually sizes up pretty well against Piotr Yan, and I think that's a good look, if I'm going to be honest. Piotr just hasn't looked the best over his past, 4 fights or so. You know, he's lost 3 out of his last 4. He did beat Song Yadong in his last fight, but Song did have his moments early on, and I think that's where Figgy's going to have to take advantage here. He's going to have to come out hot. He's going to have to start out fast because we know Piotr Yan takes a little bit to get started. So, once again, another tough fight to call, but just the value and how he's been fighting compared to how the other guy's been fighting, I got to go with the dog here. Give me Deuce Together, Davidson Figueiredo at plus 270, the dog. Don't really feel great about betting it, but Figgy via decision is going to be my pick for this fight. So we'll run through it one more time in case you guys missed them. We'll start at the first fight one more time, and then we'll get into the parlay. So first fight, give me Mahashate to win this fight via decision. Give me Quang Lee to win this fight via decision. Give me Loner Kavanaugh to win this fight via third round knockout. Give me Carlos Hernandez to win this fight via decision. Give me Zhao Kan Feng to win this fight via decision. Next fight, give me where is it at? Kiru Sahota to win this fight via decision. Give me Bear Gang Gilesi to win this fight via decision. Give me Zhang Mingyang to win this fight via first round knockout. Give me Carlos Ulberg to win this fight via decision. Give me Wang Kong to win this fight via decision. Muslim Salikov via decision. Tabitha Ricci via decision. And then Deuce Tagada, Davidson Figueiredo to win this fight via decision. So that is all of my picks for all of the fights on this card. So let's get into the bets, you guys. Pretty much what I assume the majority of you are here for. We got Ken in here. What's up, guys? Hope you're good. I appreciate you stopping by here today, Ken. I'm doing well. It's Friday. Just, hopped on here early so you guys can get your bets in time if you're telling me, if you're fading me. And then I got to go grab some dinner because your boy's hungry. So with that being said, let's get into to the bets. And we're starting off with the bang, our biggest winner, if you will. So 5-leg parlay, all via 3 or decision. So you see a Tabitha Ricci by points in there. That's what I mean via decision in there. But the rest are 3 or decision or 4 or 5 or decision. So 5-leg parlay plus 22,449 is Zhao Kan Feng, 3 or decision. Kiru Singh Sahota to win the fight via 3 or decision. Bear Gang Julesi to win 3 or decision. Tabitha Ricci to win the fight via points. And Davidson Figueiredo 4, 5 or decision at and all of those put together, $5 on it. If all of them hit, that's $1,127.48. That's our biggest one. And now let's move on to, some ones where we can't win as much. However, not as big parlays. So once again, I said if Mahashate wins, I expect him to win via knockout a little bit later on. I suspect Loner Kavanaugh to win later on anyway. And Zhang Mingyang, I expect him to win via first round knockout anyway. So this is a 3-leg parlay, $5 to win $239.11. It's a plus 4,682. And it is Mahashate to win via knockout in round 2 or 3. Loner Kavanaugh to win by knockout in round 2 or 3, and Zhang Mingyang to win by knockout in round 1 or 2. And then moving on, this was one where I've kind of if the fights don't go to decision the way that I think they're going to, there is a chance that these go under. And that is this 3-leg parlay here, $5 to win $159. Once again, 3 legs to plus 3,086. It is Mahashate versus Nick Moda to go under 1.5 rounds. Carlos Ulberg versus Volkan Oezdemir for Carlos Ulberg to win by knockout in round 1 or 2. And Wang Kong. I don't really think she has the power to get Gabby Fernandez out of there. But if she does, we got it covered here. Wang Kong via knockout in round 1 or 2. So if I'm wrong on my decision parlays, then hopefully this one right here hits. So moving on to the big ones, kind of just trying to cover the whole card. And earlier I was telling you guys whether I was betting it or not. This is what parlay that entailed. So we got 13 fights on the card. There's I think I said 4 of them I probably wasn't going to bet, and the other 9 are right here. And these are the bets for that. So it is a 9-leg parlay plus 4,604. It's Mahashate money line. The Zhao Long versus Quang Lee fight to go over 2.5. The Loner Kavanaugh versus Jose Ochoa fight to go over 1.5. Zhao Kan Feng to win 3 or decision. Kiru Sahota to win 3 or decision. Bear Gang Gilesi versus Sung Young Yu to go over 2.5 rounds. Zhang Mingyang versus Ozzy Diaz under 1.5. Carlos Ulberg money line. And then I can't see the last one right now. What does it say? Song Kanan versus Muslim Salikov to go over 1.5 rounds. And if I was to bet every single one of the fights on this card, it would look like this 13-leg parlay right here. $5 to win 240. Not even the best odds, but it's all, I guess, my best read for each one of the fights. So if I had to bet for every single one of the fights on the card, this is what it would look like. So hopefully I wake up in the morning and it's got about 6 checks on this parlay, and I just got to watch the last 4 or 5. So with that being said, 13-leg parlay plus 4,711. Ma Shate money line. Jiao Long versus Quang to go over 2.5 rounds. Loner Kavanaugh versus Jose Ochoa to start round 2. Here we go. Nam Gurrell, Tumen Doombarrell versus Carlos Hernandez to start round 2. Zhao Confang to win 3 or decision. Kiru Sahoda versus Choi to go over 2.5 rounds. Bear Gang versus Sung Young Yu to start round 3. Zhang Mingyang money line. Carlos Alberg money line. Wang Hong money line at 950. Yeah, that looks dumb, right? The Song Kanan versus Muslim Salikov to start round 3. The Yan Jiaonan versus Tabitha Ricci to go the distance, and Piotr Yan versus Davidson Figueiredo to start round 3. So if you can't read that, I apologize. It's real small. I had to get real close to read it. But there's that one. $5 to win 240 on the 13 leg. The 9 leg is $5 to win 235. We got a 3 leg, $5 to win to win 159. We got a $5 to win 239 on the 3 leg. And the Big Daddy, we started off with a bang this week. It's 5 legs, $5 to win 1,127. So as always, if you are betting the fights this weekend or very early in the morning, good luck to you. Please don't be betting more than you can afford to lose. You saw what I bet here. What was that? 25, 30 bucks. It's okay if I lose it because it's some really low level fights that I'm having to rearrange my day to watch any of. So I'm going to be getting up as early as I can in the morning, probably like 5, 6, something like that, and watching the rest of them. And hopefully I still have some of these parlays in, because if not, I'm not sure how much I'm going to want to chase on these fights, because they're not the best fights anyway. And it's the last fights we got for, a couple of weeks, because we don't have any fights this upcoming weekend, and we got a pay-per-view when we return on the 7th. So one more time, if you're betting these fights, be careful, but good luck to everyone spending your hard-earned dollars on these sketchy-ass fights this weekend. Good luck to everyone. Hopefully you hit some sick bets, and if you're tailing me, hopefully we have some luck. And if you're fading me, hopefully you have some luck. But with that being said, I truly appreciate all of y'all for stopping by here and hanging out with me here tonight. We got Colton. Love you, brother. The beard looks phenomenal. It's the last time y'all will see me with this big-ass thing. I cannot wait to shave it. My food's getting caught in it, but got to support No Shave November. Shout out men's prostate health. Daniel Aker, have a great weekend, boys. Excited for this main event. Same. I think it should be the main event, or the main card should be great fights. The undercard, prelims, it's going to be some sketchy ones. So if you're betting them, once again, good luck. Good luck, y'all. They are. Who knows what's going to happen? Hopefully we can all get lucky. But with that being said, thank you guys very much for stopping by here and hanging out with me here this afternoon. Good luck tomorrow morning. Hit that thumbs up button on y'all's way out, and I will catch you guys in a couple weeks, unless we got some UFC card news. So with that being said, I'll catch you guys later. Peace.